I'm record that.
All right, we got Memphis coach Penny Hardaway, senior Alex Lomax, junior Landers Nolly the second, sophomore Earl Timberlake. Sorry. We will open up with coach's statement first, and then we will go to questions inside the room. If you guys can hold up your hand, we'll bring a microphone over to you. For those on the Zoom, if you want to raise your hand for a question, we'll call upon you individually. Coach, we'll start with you.
First, I'll say thank God for this opportunity to even be here in this situation. We've come a long ways, and to be in a point right now to be in the semifinal game of the conference, playing against a really well coached and really good SMU team that's beaten us twice already this year, to be able to come in and understand that it's pretty much a home game for them and still beat them here with everything at stake, with them having the opportunity to make it into the NCAA, us having an opportunity to make it into the NCAA, for the guys to face adversity throughout the game, heavily face adversity, and then come out on top and push through with everything that happened. Jalen getting injured, Tyler catching a cramp, DeAndre fouling out. Man, I couldn't be even more proud of these guys. They did a heck of a job.
We'll go to the front right and then the green.
Question for Earl and Penny. Obviously, with everything you said, Jalen, DeAndre's foul trouble, you needed somebody to step up kind of down the front court. What can you just kind of say about Earl's performance?
It's we understand we call him easy. He's easy going, but we know he has game, and he was ready for his moment. He was ready for his opportunity. You know, I told him it can be an obligation or it can be an opportunity. He seized the moment and took advantage of an opportunity and came in and played big for us, man. I'm really proud of him. He's been waiting his turn, and tonight he showed what he can. Well, we already know what he can do, but he showed up for us and played really well.
Two things, Penny. Right here. There was a lot of things that happened that had to happen for you guys to win. But if you picked the most important thing, what was it? And then just the whole sequence with Jalen going down, going out, coming back, and then what's his status like? Take us through all that.
I can honestly say this: in the first half, Earl comes in. I had been looking at him the entire half and told him, nodded to him and told him I was going to put him in. And he got in and got a tip in. And right before the end of the half, he made a heck of a block that could have changed momentum for them. And when he got that block, man, those are just winning plays. To me, that's like the biggest play of the game, because he got a tip in and then he came back right before the end of the half. Josh got beat off the dribble and he went up and blocked it right before the end of the half to take us into the half with some momentum. Yeah, Jalen, man, I saw that he fell really hard. Like, he hit the court really hard. He didn't get the cushion on Kendrick Davis. You know, he goes in there and he tries to throw his body into him, and he was up so high that he hit the bottom. And when he fell, I was just hoping that his shoulder, his hand, nothing was broken. I know he'll be a little sore, but we'll take that over anything being broken.
If you don't mind waiting for the microphone, just so we can have someone recording it on it.
Is it a sprain?
He just has it taped right now. They hadn't told us exactly what it was. I just know he's going to be sore. We'll know more tonight.
Thank you.
Penny, coming into this game, you guys, over your last 13 games, you were 11-2, and those two losses happened to come to SMU. First off, how good did this one feel to get it against them? And second of all, do you guys feel like you're peaking at the right time right now?
Well, yeah, you know, the first game, we didn't have everybody. They're still a good team. I've always respected their culture, how they play. They're very smart, and obviously they're well coached. So the first game, I knew it was going to be tough for us to win because we were undermanned. And the guys fought their butts off because it's just one of the 5,000-point scorers in that starting lineup. It's going to be hard for freshmen to beat them. We came into SMU with high hopes because we were on a streak, and they just beat us handily. Kendrick took over the game and Marcus Weathers took over the game, and the rest of the guys just played unbelievable defense and did what they had to do. I didn't play the game plan that I wanted to play against them in either game, and I went back to what we were doing last year against Kendrick and just making his life hard. And we went back to what we used to do, and it worked. But it does make this win feel much better because we didn't want to go down 0-3 to those guys, and we really wanted to show what we were all about as well.
Coach, a couple questions. Obviously, we're far from Memphis, but Memphis fans flooded the stands today, even chanting with that trick, which is the anthem. So did this at all feel like a home game for you guys, being that Memphis showed up in a way that was massive here at Dickies Arena. And then the second question is, can you just speak to Alo's performance with those crazy defensive plays
Yeah,
throughout the course of the game?
yeah, yeah. It does seem like a home game. We saw the sea of blue, and our fans came out to really support, and we really appreciate that because this is a home game for SMU, and our fans came out to make noise and to give our guys the energy, and it helped a lot. And with Alo, nothing surprises me about him. He's a winner. And we always talk about winners winning. He just makes winning plays the entire game.
Hey Penny, this is your fourth year. This is your first time going to the championship game. What emotions are you feeling going to your first championship game?
I feel great. You know, to be, you know, if you'd asked us a month ago, 3 months ago, you know, we would have been saying, yeah, we're going to be there. And then we went through the struggle. But now it just feels great because we're playing the type of Memphis basketball. Our defense is traveling. And anytime we have that, I'm great, but I'm feeling really good behind this. I'm going to enjoy this win tonight, but we know that we have a tough Houston team, but to be in the championship, yeah, I feel great.
For Penny, then I have a question for Alo. Did going through the struggles that you went through this year help? In other words, you saw all the resilience that you built up this year sort of come to play today. Did that help today?
It does. Everything that we went through from the Georgia game, how we lost, from the ECU game, how we lost, how we gave up a bunch of points to Murray State in the second half, a 50-point half for them to win, playing against a team last night that all the experiences that we had with the 9 losses are coming into play right now when we get into adversity because we've been there before.
And then for Alo, did you take it personally to lock up Kendrick? What was your approach there? And what's it like as someone who had to sit out last year during this postseason run to be a part of it, to be popping your Memphis jersey and hearing whoop that trick and everything else?
I most definitely took the matchup personally. You know, we play the same position. And he's the player of the year. And, you know, I go in and just want to be a great defender. So I wanted to take that matchup personal. And I talked to coach about that no matter what. I just want to stay on him. And, you know, also right before the game, we saw a couple quotes that they said as in, you know, they felt like they had already won the game before it happened. So they just added fuel to the fire. And that was just something that really just stayed on my mind, especially coming into the game today. Oh, man, after sitting out last year, especially coming into the same practice arenas, when I couldn't even run full speed, and now we're going into there and I'm able to just be on the court, I'm just very thankful just to be more healthy than I was last year. And just to see the fans come out and being able to give my all for Memphis, that's just the most important thing to me every day.
For any of the players, your coach mentioned, obviously Jalen got a couple of early fouls and then got hurt later on. Dandridge and Williams both got into foul trouble. Was there any point where you thought maybe this wasn't your day, or are you surprised to be sitting here getting ready for a championship game tomorrow?
Like y'all said earlier, with the 9 losses, we've been through a lot of different things, and practice, we always play small sometimes, so we just had a lot of experience in those aspects. And we just did a great job of adjusting with Coach Penny, just putting us in the right situations to just weather the storm. And we never looked down or got rattled. We're a very experienced team from last season and this season. So we just always stay forward and just weather the storm.
This is for Penny and maybe Landers too. You're down 55-51. It's like a media timeout or something, and you guys came out, and it goes to what you're saying generally, but what did you do, you think, offensively, defensively in those final 6 minutes where it felt like, you know, that ultimately that's where you won the game?
For us, we just got the ball in the same players' hands and they capitalized. You know, they missed a lot of what we call small shots, little bunnies around the rim. Lester and Chiz, Landers missed a lot of shots. It was winning time, and they made baskets in the time that we needed them to make them. They had missed them the entire game, and then finally started making them at the end. We ran the same plays. They just capitalized on them.
Landers, what was that like for you? I mean, you in the first half, especially, it seemed like you missed a whole bunch of shots you've been making lately. How did that last stretch feel to really kind of gut out a win when things were stacked against you?
For me, it felt good because coach kept his trust in me. The players, they all kept finding me, and I just tried to find a way to come through for them.
All right, in the top middle.
Hey, this one's for Penny, and then any individual player that wanted to touch on it. Just DeAndre, once he fouled out, he wasn't
non-factor in the games. You had energy on the bench. He was talking guys up. Just can you speak to kind of the veteran leadership he was showing, especially late in that game?
Yeah, we know Dre. He felt like he let us down. So the one thing that he could do was cheer and be on the sideline, keeping the energy positive. And that's what he was going to do. He wasn't just going to sit over there and pout because he fouled out. He wanted us to win the game to have a second chance at it. And when his teammates started playing well, and when we were down 4 with 6 minutes and 55 seconds on the clock, he was just getting the guys back up. And, that's what you need. You need the selflessness instead of the selfishness. And in today's game, most players would have been over there pouting because they fouled out. That's just who DeAndre Williams is, man. He's a total team player.
Time for a couple more questions. We're going to go to the far right, and then we have 2 more coming in the middle.
Hey, everybody, Earl Timberlake.
I'm sorry, I don't have
I
a
just
question
didn't.
for Earl though. This is for Coach right here.
All right, I'll do
Hello.
this.
Okay, so you had two players go down. For us, it really looked like they weren't going to come back. One, what was the conversation like when they said, "Hey, Coach, I want to come back"? And then how was that a testament just not only to the character but the heart of your team?
Yeah, well, when I went over to Jalen, he was crying. I was like, oh my God, this has to be bad because he's tough. And he was like, my shoulder. Then he was like, I can't feel my hand. And I was like, is anything broke? I'm like the doctor. I'm checking him out to make sure that nothing was broken. And when nothing was broken, I was like, okay, come on, get up. And then once it's time to get up, nothing's broken. So when he went to the back, I knew he was going to come back. I knew he was going to go back there. He was not going to let us, play without him if anything wasn't broken. I knew he was going to come back. And with Tyler, he got a cramp and definitely wanted to come back in the game. But it just shows that those guys really want to win, that they want to be on the court and they want to be there for their teammates. It just shows how tough they are as well.
All right, last questions from the front in the front row.
Earl, kind of what Penny was talking about earlier. When you came in, did you kind of sense that what was going on with JD, what's going on with Dre, that you kind of needed to do what you did today?
Yeah, I did. Coaches preached, be ready for your moment, and I was ready. I got to play today.
All right, one last question.
Earl, how much obviously I would assume you follow college basketball at this time of year and have for a long time. This is the sort of thing you see at this time of year, somebody who's, steps up when their team needs them. How do you feel about that being you tonight?
Bro. It's just a blessing. I just wanted to be ready for my moment. Just want to be there for my teammates, and overall, I just want to win any way I can, help the team.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks.
Let me whip up here for one question.
We have SMU coach Tim Jankovic and a trio of seniors that include Kendrick Davis, Michael Weathers, and Marcus Weathers. We'll open up with coach's statement, and then we'll go to the room for questions. For those of you that are on our Zoom, if you could please raise your hand, we'll call upon you individually. But coach, the floor is yours.
Just, proud of our team all year long. I've been so appreciative of these guys and their efforts and their fight and their togetherness and all the things they've overcome individually and collectively. And, I'm proud to coach these guys. I feel horrible for them. I know how badly they wanted to win this tournament, this game today, and obviously, painful loss. All losses are painful, some a little more than others, but I just do appreciate our team very much.
All right, we'll go questions from the room. You guys can raise your hand. We'll get the microphone over to you. We'll go to the back row first.
Hey, Coach, I know the conference don't get a lot of credit. Why should your team be considered for the 6-18 field going next week?
Oh, I look at it, how could you not be how could you possibly not? The American Athletic Conference with the teams that are in this league, and we finished second with the wins that we had. And I think it's hard for me to even grasp, you know, I would be saying this if I was in, you know, I've coached in, I can't tell you how many leagues, the Big 12, SEC, Big 10, Mountain West, Southland, Missouri Valley, American. I've got a great grasp of this. I do. I've got a really, really good feel for the difference of teams. And I'm here to tell you, it's about that far, you know, if you're the 41 on the net and versus the 86 on the net, well, that game is going to be this close most of the time. I mean, and I just think that a full season in a great league, I think teams should be rewarded across the country, not just us. So, of course, I'm biased, but I promise you, I'd be saying this if I was in a whole other league and you asked me, should that team that just got second in the American and won the games, yes, of course they should be in, but we won't know that until tomorrow.
Hey, Michael and Marcus, you guys both transferred from Miami of Ohio. Talk about what it's like to be here on this stage playing for a conference championship and what your relationship is like with Coach Jankovic going forward now that you guys are on your way to your next step.
Just coming here and, you know, being a part of Coach Jank's family has been great. You know, he really believed in me and Mike, and, you know, he really gave us a platform to really showcase what we could do, whether that play, you know, the 4 or the 5 or, you know, do whatever it was out there on the court. But Coach Jank, he just really cared about us, and, you know, he made the transition coming here, you know, so easy and really a great one in my opinion.
Yeah, just to piggyback off what Mark said, you know, it's been a beautiful atmosphere coming into SMU. Coach Jank made it so easy to transition and everything like that. And even the players with KD and the E-Man, the former players. So, I mean, it's just been a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful feeling to come out here and play in front of a big crowd. And, you know, we almost had it, but, you know, it was just a tough game for us. But, you know, just coming to SMU was the greatest decision we made.
For the players, you guys have made a habit this year of rallying from behind and winning a lot of games in the second half. When Memphis got a couple of guys in foul trouble and then Duran got hurt as well, did you feel like that was the blueprint to get one more, scratch one back out in the second half?
Regardless of Duran going down or not, our game plan was just to keep in attack mode. Even with their press, you know, they cause a lot of turnovers and havoc and stuff like that. But our level of aggression had to keep the same, and we didn't do that for 40 minutes. So, you know, whether it was Duran or somebody else going down, we just had to keep the same level of aggression.
Tim, Penny said that their whole game plan this time was to go back to what they did a couple of years ago and just try to make life difficult for Kendrick. Obviously, that included some pretty intense defensive double teams immediately, you know, full court and right across half court. I guess just from your perspective, how much difficult did that make to get the offense kind of in a flow early?
Well, that's really what they did that's what they've been doing every time. It really wasn't any different, but I guess, you know, they might want to say it was, but it's really what they've been doing every single time we play. So that makes me laugh. It's the same, and that's what the same. First time we played them, second time we played them, third time played them last year. They basically have done that the whole time, and they basically do. That's the way they play anyway. So I really didn't see a change. The success we've had over them the last couple of years, our guys have just done an amazing job, because there is a shifting of gears when you play them, because they're not going to let you play in your flow. And because of that, your team has to make a pretty big adjustment to play a lot more freelance, but with purpose and with certain rules, what we want to do and what we don't want to do. And these guys they did a terrific job the first 2 games. Today we didn't do as good a job. You know, we probably wanted it too bad, probably tried a little too hard, probably forced some things. And give Memphis credit, you know, they played very hard today, of course. And so I'm not taking anything away from them at all. But, you know, from an offensive standpoint, it was a little tougher today. I also think, that I said this before the conference tournament, when you're in league play or you're in an NCAA tournament, you have always a day or two or three in between to prepare for a team. And that's the rhythm of college basketball. In a conference tournament, you don't, you get back to the hotel, you go to bed, and today you're quickly, like, remember this, remember this, remember this. So it's not as effective. It's harder on the players. And I thought they did a very good job, but we definitely weren't as organized as we were the last two times we played them. And that's conference tournament basketball. And so we didn't adjust as good as coaches. Probably maybe we could have made it simpler or whatever, but they played hard. They didn't do anything different than they've done. What hurt us is, that they really out rebound us. We're not a big team. I mean, that's our 5-man. Most of that's, we're 6'5", 6'3", 6'3", 6'3", 6 foot. And that would be the smallest team in a lot of high school leagues, which is another reason I'm so proud of them. I mean, you talk about having to play hard when you're giving up those kind of inches and pounds. Amazing. And amazing that we've rebounded the ball the way we have all year long. Every now and then we've had 2 games in the last 2 months where we got dominated on the boards. That's amazing to me. And so that's again why I'm so proud of these guys, because their heart and effort and will allowed us to play a way that was difficult to match up with us. That was, you'd ask, I'm sure any coach would come up here, SMU's hard to play against, but if they can dominate us on the boards, that's pretty tough for us. And it's only happened twice in the last, I don't know how long. And tonight, really, that was the case. And it was certainly not lack of effort. A lot of factors go into that, but we didn't negate the boards enough to win the game.
Go to the front right.
Kendrick, how tough was this one to swallow, and how confident are you that you'll get an NCAA tournament chance?
I mean, it was tough. They're a good team, and we beat them twice, so we knew the third time it was going to be even harder. I think the way we beat them the second time, we knew it was going to be harder, and we had it. I mean, the last 4 minutes, they wanted it more than we did. But I mean, I'm confident we finished second in the league, and whether Houston or Memphis win the tournament, we got to win with them. So, I mean, we finished right behind a top 20 team in the country. So, I mean, we just leave it. And if we get in the tournament, I know we can be dangerous.
Coach, kind of during those last few minutes, how do you kind of try to decide whether to use a timeout to maybe try to slow that run down, but then that also gets the crowd going and gives them a chance to also regroup a little bit versus trusting your guys and not taking
what
the
point,
timeout?
where exactly are you talking about? Like 6 minutes, 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes? There was one on the
2-3 minute.
There was one on the 4 minute. You got the media timeout. So you always factor that and you wonder, okay, should we let it go? One time, I think it was at the 7-minute mark, we right over 8, we thought about one, but it was like, you know what, the next dead ball it's gonna, and it certainly paid off not to take the timeout because there was a dead ball. And then soon after we did really well, we stopped the run. It's just a hard choice. It's I don't know. There's no book that's right. And you just, do we feel like we can get through that run or not? Our guys, I have a lot of confidence. And another thing that, that I always kind of get a kick out of is a timeout is definitely what you're going to get is rest. Okay. You can rest, but there's no magic in it. It doesn't so we call timeout, and a lot of times we'll come out of timeout and execute and get a basket. But a lot of times, they didn't do what we thought they were going to do. A lot of times timeouts backfire. A lot of times timeout, I know what they're doing right now. Whereas if I call a timeout, they may decide right now when they have it. So I think, those are all the tough decisions that you make as a coach. That's why I don't like to use them. Like I'll not use them late in a half, even though it's the use it or lose it. It's like, why are we going to use it just to use it when our guys know exactly what we're going to do at the other end? And all a timeout might do is get them to change their defense. So those things all factor in, and it's, you know, there's really no right answer. It's all hindsight's 2020 is the way I look at it.
We'll go two more questions, one in the back, and then we'll go one more in the front in the green.
Hey, Katie, it's your third time playing Memphis. How fun or challenging going against those guards, man? I know you had some success. So how fun and challenging going against those guards?
I like beating Penny. It's more fun than beating him. But I mean, I like playing basketball, whether it's Memphis, Houston, whatever. But I mean, playing against them, you know, is always fun. I mean, a legendary coach, and I done took more wins than losses, so I'm glad of that.
Tim, you've talked about since the season started about how much you like this group, you know, how much you want them to get to the NCAA tournament. I guess just how hard is it now knowing in the next 24 hours, the uncertainty of, you know, that it's not in your hands anymore?
No, it's really, really tough. I've coached a long time. I've been in a lot of situations where we were guaranteed to be in. I've been in a lot of situations where we were definitely not going to be in. And I've been in too many situations like this one where, you know, where you're right there. And it's not fun. I don't wish it on anyone, but I'm not worried about, for me, you know, gosh, I've done it forever. And of course I would like to go again, but these guys I want this team to go. I want this team to experience as a group. They deserve it. If they didn't deserve it, I wouldn't be talking that way, but I mean, every finger crossed, everything, every prayer, every whatever, that the committee sees fit and sees it as I do. So yeah, it's bothersome, but maybe we'll get some great news tomorrow.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.